go out to Laverne, Tennessee, and talk to Allison. Hey, Allison, what's going on?
Hi.
What's going on?
Not much. I just have a question.
Bring it.
So about a year ago, we moved to Tennessee. My husband had been in the Navy for 20 years, and we retired, moved to Tennessee for him to get his big boy job, as he said. And
as a non-military guy, I would say he had quite the big boy job, but fair enough.
So when we moved, we decided that I would stay home with my son, who is now 15, and homeschool. And I had always taught. I was a teacher for 13 years until our last duty station when we moved to Washington State and COVID hit. And I decided to change careers and became a pharmacy tech during COVID. And so we decided to homeschool my son, but now I'm kind of getting bored.
Okay.
I don't want to be at home anymore. And I've got an opportunity to go back to work part-time and still be able to homeschool my son. But now I feel selfish thinking of going back to work and not being home with my son. Even though I can do both, am I being selfish?
I don't think so. Let's back up, because whenever I'm talking to somebody about this conversation in particular, there's always some absolutes that I don't think are absolutes. And so it's like trying to make decisions inside of a box. And I'm glad that you called, because sometimes the walls of that box aren't even real. They're not there. They're self-imposed. And so there's a much bigger picture that could happen. So why homeschool?
Well, he doesn't do well in public school.
Okay.
For a lot of reasons.
Learning exceptionalities, from behavior, from special needs, 504 stuff. What's up?
He has special needs.
Okay.
We have done, when we were in Georgia, he went to a special needs private school that was absolutely wonderful. They specialized in students with exceptional needs.
Okay.
And he did absolutely wonderful. But when we tried public school, he did not thrive at all. Okay. And so we pulled him out. It also was COVID. And his anxiety and things, we have tried, and it just does not work.
Okay. Are you in a position to reconsider some of those, whether it's a private school or a public school in your area?
We are able to reconsider all of those options. He does not want to do. He personally doesn't want to do any of those options.
And I would say, of course he doesn't. And I would also say he doesn't get a vote. Now, that's too harsh. He does. He's 15 now, so I would sit down with him and have a conversation about it. I recently had a conversation with my 14-year-old son about it. Very similar things. Just as he's entering high school, what's that going to look like for him, for the family, for all of us? But I'm going to make that final decision on what's best for the entire ecosystem. Because here's one thing I do know. A well and whole mom is better than an anxious, exhausted, burned out, bored mom. So the choices are either sit back and go, okay, I know on the outset you've had some difficulties in school A, B, and C. You had some successes in schools X, Y, and Z. We're in a new community, and we've done homeschooling for a season. We're going to try this new school out. Starting in the fall semester, we're going to try this new place out. And if it doesn't work, we can always come back here. And if it does work, it'd be amazing. You get some new high school friends and some buddies and all that kind of stuff. So that's on the table. Option 2 is on the table. Let me ask you this. What are you bored with?
I don't like I'm bored with not having any adult interaction.
Okay. All right. Is it daytime interaction or is it nighttime interaction? Is it the world you've created for yourself?
I think it's the world I've created for myself.
Okay. Tell me about that.
I pretty much get up and clean, cook, hang out with my son. And that's pretty much all I do all day long.
Why have you made that your life?
Because I don't know how to meet people in this new environment.
As a transplant, it's the worst. It's the worst. But here's what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to sacrifice your values and something that's important to you for a built-in colleague network. Because those aren't going to be friends either. They're going to be pseudo-friends. They're going to be people you're like, hey, how's the weather? Oh my gosh, is it so hot? Have you tried this whatever? But they're not going to be ride or dies. So I guess my question is, what's going to be different? You go to work part-time. I'm assuming you're not desperate for the paycheck part, but you're going to go to work part-time just to be around other adults?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just be around other adults?
That would be optimal.
You're like, I would love that idiot. Are you plugged in with the local church?
We have not found one yet that meets the wickets. I've been doing my I've been online with the church from Washington still.
Here's why I ask. I know church doesn't solve all the problems. It's kind of like a workplace. It's got built-in. It's a place where adults go, right? On a regular, semi-regular basis. But you just gave me something that's very instructive. It's something that I used to struggle with my college students, especially when everyone got a smartphone. When I went to college back 100 years ago, all we had, email was just in its infancy. All we had was to write letters. That was it. And so I had to go make friends in the new place I was in. And fast forward 25 years, now we have a world where we never have to unplug from the old place. You're going to the same church. You're talking to the same people via text. You're having the same Zoom meetings. But your body's here. And it's been a year. Have you fully metabolized this move yet?
Nope.
Yeah. How much of the we decided was he decided?
About 98%.
That's what I thought. I think that is at the root. Because you sound like somebody who doesn't super want to be here, or you super miss your old life. And the fact that this is your new life, you haven't fully sat in it yet, because that means you're going to have to grieve the old life. And that means you are yet again, you thought it was just the military dragging you around, and that once the military was over, we could finally go do these things, and you're right back in the exact same spot. How much of that sounds right?
About 95 to 98%.
So what do you do next? Because here's what I promise. I promise you, your husband doesn't want, unless he's a psychopath, which I don't think he is. Your husband doesn't want a wife who's doesn't love her life. You don't want to have a life that you don't love. Your son doesn't want a mom who doesn't love the life that she's in. So my question for you is, how do you create that?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You just had 2 or 3 thoughts.
I did have 2 or 3.
Do you fantasize about just packing up and going back to Washington?
No.
No?
No. Not ever.
All
There's
right.
a couple places I do fantasize about going back to.
What are those things that you exhale? Those little rays of light inside of you that you snuff out so that you can get through your day. What are those things?
They all happen within these four walls, though.
Tell me about them. And you're going to feel like a bad mama for saying them out loud. Say them anyway.
Being here with my son.
Okay.
Taking my son to Taekwondo.
Okay.
And like my dogs, like just the sheer joy in their face when they see me walk through the door.
You don't like that, or you do?
I do. I love like every bit of that.
Okay. And you do like being there with your son and taking him to Taekwondo, or that part is slowly killing you?
No, I do.
Okay. What are the things about this new life that you don't like? Just say it.
I guess the monotony.
Is there any of it that you thought after the military was over, everything was going to finally be different?
Yeah. I thought that after the military was over, that the stress would be over.
So here's where I think you start. I think you start with what I would call a 1-year review, similar as you would have at work. And if it's safe, and if he's safe, hopefully he is. Otherwise, we're having a totally different conversation. You leave your knuckleheaded 15-year-old at home, and you plan a half day for you and your husband. And you have to be honest with him that it's been a year and you don't like the life that you have created together in this new place. And that you had some hopes and dreams about what post-military life would look like, and they don't. And you want to be a part of building what comes next. And it doesn't mean that people have to quit their jobs, doesn't mean that you'll have to move. But it does mean that you get to say, here's what I want, here's what I need to. And if he's smart, he will understand that that benefits him. It benefits the whole home. And if he looks at you and says, I really don't care what you want, I don't care what you need, I have this job, your butt's staying home. Well, now you've got other issues to deal with. Is that fair?
Fair.
Yeah. Is he that kind of guy?
No.
Would he love it for you to sit down and tell him what you're actually feeling?
Most days.
That's good. That's good. That's pretty good for a marriage. Most days. So I think the question of do you go back to work or not? That's a surface level question. I can't answer that for you. If you have to go make money, then go make money. If it's too expensive, if y'all need the money. If you have a career that meant something to you and was deeply purposeful for you, you were put on earth to be a fill in the blank, a child advocate, a teacher, a physician, whatever the thing is, go work, go do your thing. If you want to get out of the house because you're just bored and the spark that is you is just out, the candle wick is just wet. It can't be lit. And there's just an opportunity to get out and go be around adults that speaks to something different, which is you are not alive in your own life. Spend some time over the next week or two with yourself, writing down, here's what I want, here's what I need, here's what I would love. And that can be date nights, that can be sexual intimacy, that can be, I do want to go back to work, that can be, I love our son, but man, he's got to grow up and we're going to put him in a special needs school out here. Or there is no special needs schools out here, so it's going to have to be me, or we're going to hire a tutor, whatever that looks like, put every option on the table. And then take off the ones you can't afford, put on the ones that maybe make us a little uncomfortable, but we'll figure out. But you get a list and write these things down. Here's what I want in my home. Here's what I need in my home. And then have the courage to sit down with your husband on a half-day retreat and say, all right, we've been here a year. Here's what I love about this new place. Here's what's killing me. And I want to be alive in my own home. Here's what I want our home to feel like when you get home, when I get home, when we all get home. Here's what I love. And right now, one of my favorite things is just when the dogs see me. And I want a bigger life than that. I want a more adventurous, full of love life than that. And then y'all build something new. You're worth it and he's worth it. The whole family is. And then if you want to go back to work and be a pharmacy tech, go be a pharmacy tech. But I imagine that the adventure is way, way bigger than that.